Hi, this is Dawn and Paula. We're the health and nutrition coaches in the Healthy Mindset Mission, and we have been talking together about how PFC Every 3 and intuitive eating together are such a powerful strategy for people to reach their health goals. And so we wanted to jump on and share this message with you because we think it's really effective. So what is intuitive eating? It is, taking a non-diet approach to your health goals. It is basically ditching the idea of dieting, and it's, using your own personal hunger cues, your internal fullness cues, and things like that to determine if you eat, if you don't eat, when you stop eating. And it's just a really great way to, improve your relationship with food if that's something that you struggle with. So intuitive eating can be very powerful. And what we noticed is that the PFC Every 3 lifestyle is very much in line with intuitive eating, and that the two concepts together can be very powerful and effective in helping people reach their health goals. And so I thought we could start with Paula. And Paula, you can kind of tell me your experience or lack of experience with intuitive eating, however you see it. So maybe on a scale of like 1 to 10, 10 being like super intuitive, 1 being not at all. Before adopting the PFC Every 3 lifestyle, where would you say you were with intuitive eating in your own habits?
Probably a big 0 because I would just, in a way, I would eat everything that was what I wanted to eat when I wanted to eat, but I would overeat. So I wasn't very intuitive to my body what it needed.
So it was more of a, not that you would control what you ate or didn't eat, but more how much you would eat. Maybe you didn't really pay attention to full hunger and those sorts of cues, which I think a lot of people struggle with, especially if you are like an emotional or stress eater. Yeah. I would agree with you. I actually am going to say that I was like a negative 10. I didn't do it, and which is very strange for me. I'm a very intuitive person in general in my own lifestyle. But when it came to eating, not at all intuitive. I was a chronic dieter. I mean, I just was never not on a diet. I had, of course, certain foods were off limits to me at all times. I was counting calories, counting points. If I ran out of points or calories, I wouldn't let myself eat, and I would just deprive myself, which of course would then create like a domino effect of binge eating, right? So I was definitely a negative 10. So Paula and I both teach the PFC Every 3 lifestyle, and we both live it every single day. And we have been for months, and I absolutely love it. And the one like biggest takeaway for me, aside from reaching my health goals, has been my relationship with food has changed tremendously. And that was so liberating for me. So Paula, after implementing PFC Every 3, where would you say on a scale of 1 to 10 have you gone with your intuitive eating?
It's got to be like an 8. I mean, I'm not perfect yet, but I'm getting there. I know now when my body is, full, or when it's, when it's satisfied, or when it's hungry and it needs fuel.
Yeah. And Paula, we're never perfect. It is just always a work in progress, isn't it? I would agree with you. I mean, I have come around in spades when it comes to intuitive eating. As far as I've come, I've learned to listen to my body. I've gotten rid of the dieting mindset. I don't diet anymore. I don't let, my feelings and my self-worth be controlled by what I ate, what I didn't eat. If I chose something that, would be considered unhealthy, I don't beat myself up over it anymore. If I'm hungry, I just eat. I eat balanced. I mean, that's what PFC Every 3 is. It's eating, proteins, fat, and carbs at every meal. The 3 stands for every 3 hours, which, some people may argue that putting yourself on a feeding schedule is not intuitive eating, and I would agree with that. But the 3 really is a guideline, and that's what I love about PFC Every 3 is it's a roadmap. It is a roadmap of implementing a process until you can get it down on your own. And so eating every 3 hours, Paula, do you set an alarm to eat?
I know.
And sometimes you eat at 2 hours or 2.5 hours. I mean, we've learned to just listen to our body and give our body what it needs. You and I have talked a lot about like 3 levels of hunger, right? Like level 1 hunger is we're thinking about food. You know, maybe it's popped into our head. We hadn't been thinking about it the last few hours. Now all of a sudden we're like, I could eat, right? Level 2 hunger, stomach's starting to growl, starting to yell at you a little bit more. Level 3 hunger, it's going to explode. You're getting very hangry, right? So it's just learning to listen to your levels of hunger and responding appropriately to them. So I thought we could talk about just the 5 practices of, intuitive eating. And we can talk about how they compare to PFC Every 3 because it really is the same concept, but without a roadmap. So the first thing is ditching dieting. Paula, you and I have talked before. Were you a chronic dieter before you started working with me?
I wouldn't say I was a chronic dieter, but I tried counting points, counting calories, giving up all the delicious food. Yeah.
Yes. I was a chronic dieter, always on a diet. So intuitive eating is giving up the dieting mindset. PFC Every 3, giving up the dieting mindset. Looking for something healthy and sustainable, and something that you can do for the rest of your life. The other thing is honoring your hunger and what that means. And so that basically just means, keeping your body fed with fuel, and listening to yourself so that when you ignore your hunger and when you say, well, I'm not going to eat because I don't want to start eating until noon, or I'm going to have fancy dinner tonight, so I'm not going to eat all day and then I'm going to go eat dinner. All that does is build up your deprivation and your cravings, and it gets so intense that at some point you will snap. And so whereas if you had just eaten regularly throughout the day, you probably would show up to your big fancy dinner and eat a normal meal. And yeah, you may overindulge a little bit, but you wouldn't be out of control. So honoring your hunger, don't ignore it, don't push it aside, don't cover it up with appetite suppressants and things like that. So number 3 is making peace with your food. And so I really liked this one because you mentioned yourself that lots of food was off limits to you, so tell me a little bit about that. Like what did you deny yourself?
Desserts, fancy drinks, anything that would have too much sugar, or, I thought it was bad for you, chocolate cake.
Right. Well, same here. I mean, what I would deny myself was carbs. I was always trying to do low carb or no carb. And just not allowing myself to have the drink or the French fries, the cake, whatever. So it's making peace with your food. Stop denying your food. Stop making things off limits, because when you do that, that in itself will create intense cravings within your body. Because you tell yourself you can't have cake, you're going to be thinking about that cake for a while until you can either have it, or you have something instead of it that would have been is probably worse than if you would have just allowed yourself to have a small piece of cake. So the 4th one, which I really like, is to challenge the food police. So this one I think is very interesting because who is the food police?
We are.
We are the food police. And what that means is that, we have determined in our mind what is good and what is bad. And then we define ourselves by if we choose good or bad food. Like, have you ever passed on the cake and been like, oh, I've been so good?
Yes. Many times thinking, woohoo.
Which, in the moment you might be thinking, oh, well, that's, loving myself. I'm, complimenting myself. But, we can't always be good. So sometimes we're going to choose to have the cake. And I just don't think that we should be bad because we had the cake. So it's just hushing the food police. We're not interested. Food is not good or bad. We are not defined by what we eat, or those choices that we make. We make those choices and it happened, right? It's just food. So get rid of the food police And the fifth one is feeling your fullness, you know? And so tell me a little bit about that with your experience with PFC, Paula.
With PFC, I'm able to eat till I'm satisfied, but not full, like over full. And I don't have the feeling that I have to eat more, or that I shouldn't have eaten so much. I eat, I listen to my body, and it's just working out.
Yeah. And that's why I think PFC Every 3 is so powerful, because it does a few things. By eating balanced in the right portion sizes and the right intervals, you create this balance within your body, which does several things that help you on your journey. They're like tools that it gives you to help you reach your goals. And that is, it eliminates your cravings. So you stop craving the cake or the chocolate or, whatever. Those things just become something that you either choose to have or choose not to have. It's not something that you have an intense craving for. And to me, that was like a miracle. And then the other thing that it does is when you eat regularly and not wait 5, 6, 7 hours between meals, your brain doesn't need as much time to catch up with your fullness. So if you've ever noticed, Paula, like maybe around 3 or 4 hours, you started to feel hungry, but you just could not get to your food. Like you weren't anywhere near food, you forgot to plan. And so I don't know if you noticed that by the time you did get to food, it took longer to feel full. Versus if you just eat when you start to feel hungry and not wait till intense hunger, it doesn't take so long for your brain to catch up with your body. That whole wait 20 minutes thing becomes kind of a non-thing when your blood sugar levels are not intensely low. So those are very powerful tools that I think have helped me to reach my goals. And that is what PFC Every 3 is. So that's just what we wanted to share with you. And the other thing is that we wanted to talk about is we have created our Fit for Life program, and we are getting ready to launch a mastermind seminar class that it's going to be free, and it will teach you about the PFC Every 3 lifestyle, how you can start implementing it right away to help with your own goals. And then also we'll talk to you a little bit about how you can work with the coaches. And one of the programs that we offer, which is perfect right now, because what are we coming up on?
The holidays.
Holidays, yes. And I don't know about you, but I love the holidays. And in the past, before I found this lifestyle, I also hated them because, all the parties, all the delicious food, all the entertaining, like to me, I was like, I know I'm going to gain weight. There's just no way around it. And I think when you adapt a lifestyle that's sustainable and you figure out how to get through stressful times and vacations and holidays without gaining weight, without derailing your efforts and your goals, then that's when you really feel free. So starting a program right now is the perfect time, because we will arm you with the tools that you need in order to be ready for the holidays. And the Fit for Life Fast Track program is our 4-week program where we integrate the Nutrition Arbonne products within the program. Now, you don't have to use nutrition products in the PFC Every 3 lifestyle, but it's what we use, and many of our clients have used as well. And people who are like super busy and struggle with the idea of coming up with 5 to 6 meals a day, finding a good quality protein shake that is delicious, because we have recipes. We have perfectly PFC recipes for our protein powder. So finding that is 1 to 2 meal replacements throughout the day. 1, it takes a little bit of the guesswork out, gets you a grab and go option for something fast and quick. And then 2, it is dessert in a cup. What is your favorite concoction, Paula? Your favorite recipe?
Ooh, I love the chocolate protein shake with some strawberries and some almond butter.
Oh, yum, yum. My favorite one is I've got one that tastes like cake batter.
Yum.
I put a little maple extract in there and some butter extract in there. Oh my gosh, it's so good. And I always put just a little bit of banana in mine too, because it gives it that like thick, creamy feel. So anyway, The shakes are dessert in a cup. It's a great way to get your vitamins and nutrients because the protein powder is super energy packed. So we invite you to find out more about the Fit for Life Fast Track program. Reach out to one of us, jump on the website and check it out. We're going to be launching it very soon, and we hope to get some people in our group and to use to kind of reach out to us and let us know if you have any struggles or anything you want to talk about. Anything else, Paula?
No, just, reach out to us with any questions. We're here to help.
All right. Well, we'll see you next time.